Grim Dawn's patch 1.1.9 has arrived, a smaller but welcome patch for sure. Some of the major changes in this patch come to the Shattered Realm. There have been 3 new sets added to the game. These sets can drop from the loot rooms in the Shattered Realm on ultimate difficulty only. They look pretty similar in style with some difference in color. I ran Shattered Realm about 5 times, level 60 to 61, to test the drops out and got 3 new pieces, so they don't seem incredibly rare. Also worth noting that these sets are transmutable, so getting duplicates of the same item is not all bad if you're looking to get your hands on some of these new pieces. The Shattered Guardian set, which was already previously in the game and purchasable from the Shattered Realm NPC at SR level 60, has undergone some visual changes to have a bit more flavor. Specifically grape flavor. It's purple now. If you are a fan of the old yellowish look, dummy items can be purchased from the vendor to unlock the old illusions. There have been 20 new SR chunk zones, or areas leading up to the final boss room, added to the zone pool for Shattered Realm. I've only tracked down a few of these so far in my minimal testing. They have introduced a few new snowy zones, which I'm personally a fan of, specifically the Snowy Grove, as well as a bunch more that I have not yet seen. In addition to these new zones, they have added 4 new boss rooms to the pool as well. Previously, high-tier SRs seem to only have had 2 boss rooms before, and now we have received a few more for some more variety. I will show some of the developer screenshots here, or maybe even some of my live footage to give an idea of the new layouts. I do like these new areas quite a bit. One of the bigger changes to Shattered Realm is the revamp of monster aggro in the final boss rooms. Prior to patch 1.1.9, there was a camera exploit. When rotating the camera, players were able to abuse the boss aggro mechanics in such a way that made it easier to single pull bosses. As of 1.1.9, the spawn locations of the bosses in these rooms have been made wider, and the aggro radius has been shortened, making it viable to single pull, in most cases, one boss at a time. This is a great change for players who do not want to abuse this camera exploit, and will give the player more control of these boss rooms going forward. Also, if you're feeling wild, you can still pull the entire room if you wish. There have also been some tweaks to the Shattered Realm timer. The timer penalty for dying will scale higher depending on the shard you are on. Chaining together Carnage bonus to add more seconds to the timer has been made a little tighter to pull off now, and Crate has also reduced the timer award for killing hero enemies by 1 whole second. I imagine the intent here was to have the clock play a bigger role in successfully completing a run. Okay, that was all the big stuff. In true Crate fashion, there has been a heap of tweaks across the board. I usually avoid going through item changes, nerfs, class changes, etc. I will leave a link somewhere below to Wreck by Protoss' patch read-through as usual. However, I wanted to point out that pet sets have been nerfed, but pets in general have been made stronger. I think the intent here was to allow a player to make a good enough pet build without needing to rely on full sets to make it happen. Well, that was the intent, at least. I think Retaliation items saw the brunt of the changes to gear and even devotions this patch, with a heap of Retaliation tweaks. Prismatic Diamond, one of the most common headpiece components, saw itself a little nerf. Conduit neck pieces can now roll with percent conversion, which I found interesting. Necromancer's skeletons got a little bit of a buff, which is nice. And it wouldn't be a patch without a nerf to the Arcanist AAR ability. A link to the full patch notes are below. Make sure you leave a comment on how mad or happy you are about this patch. I try to stay pretty bipartisan in these short overviews. I do want to say this is most likely Crate Entertainment's last big patch for now. Their development blog posts, also known as the Grim Misadventure series in their forums, have officially ended, as Crate Entertainment sets their sight on the release of their next major title, Farthest Frontier, set to release sometime in 2021. This is a town building game, not an action RPG, but we'll definitely check that out sometime later this year. And on the community end, that is not all for Grim Dawn. Myself and a few others have been putting in the effort to organize community competitive ladders with prizes. The next competitive ladder, which is Season 2, will be open for play February 20th at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Signups are open at grimleague.com. I will leave all sorts of information about this below. Also, make sure you check out my Twitch page, where I play Grim Dawn 4 times a week on live stream. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace! What even was that? We gotta get some motherfuckers killed here. No!